It is 7:01 on Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. I'm Dave Golden, Boogie with the Bull. Uncensored is live and on the air. If you're watching on Facebook, go over to the Dave Golden profile and you will see us there. And you can be in the live chat and give this monitor a few hours to come to life, and we'll see. No, wait a minute. Yeah, give this monitor a few hours to come to life, and no. All right, well, the modern technology of kicking off the new Boogie with the Bull studios over on StreamYard. So give me a moment, and we will try it one more time, and if it doesn't come up, then we'll just do it on a wing and a prayer. It's taking a little longer than normal to come up. There it is. So we're live on the Dave Wogan profile. If you give us just a minute, you can come there and watch it there. And it's running a tad behind like it always does. But we're live on the Dave Golden profile, and if you give me a minute here, we'll be able to kick this up so I can see the live chat, get the screen going. No, we're going to wait, and you're going to take me and do what I want to do, or else we're not going to be able to read the live chat because it's just being a pain in the rear end. Modern technology, one of these days when we become a big-time broadcast, we're going to have engineers and technicians who do this for us. So there we go. That's what we want. We want that one. We don't need this. We want to wait. There. So the live chat is open on the Dave Golden profile. We're also on the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group where they live chat. And if you're over on YouTube, we're somewhere over there. Randy Rhodes was going to join us at some point this evening with a Maui fire update. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion may stop by, as well as Michael Anthony was invited to stop by, and who knows who else will stop by. If you want to join the broadcast, it's a little complicated, but it is on the screen, and you'll see it. Join Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, StreamYard.com/Y is in yellow 5BAQFNV5Q. So StreamYard.com/YFBAQFNF5Q. That should bring you to the StreamYard studio, and I will bring you in. As I said, Jerry Michaels was given the link. Michael Anthony was given the link. Randy Rhodes was given the link. And Randy was going to join us with a Maui fire report, and hopefully that will happen momentarily. If he doesn't, my only comments on it are that I think we need to bring in President I was born in Hawaii and Secretary of the Deep State and have them give their information. A lot of conspiracy theories, just for the fun of it, is that is where the House Unselect, as President Trump would call them, the House Unselect Committee on the January 6th insurrection, that's probably where they buried all the evidence that they want to get rid of. I still don't understand that, folks. I honestly don't. If you think that you have enough evidence to charge Donald Trump, the president of the United States, with insurrection, you certainly wouldn't blow up all the evidence and get rid of it. If you don't think you have the evidence to do it, and you know that a lot of the evidence is a sham and that you know the real truth behind it, then yeah, you might try to get rid of the evidence. And you know what, America, if that's what you do, if that's what the Biden regime does, he deserves to be impeached right then and there. Okay, Joe Biden and the deep state and whoever is running the Biden administration has done nothing more than to try to take your country away from you and make sure that a man who is not capable of being president becomes the president of the United States. So if you're watching on Facebook, like I said, go over to the Dave Goldman profile and you can watch us there. You can go over to the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group and watch us there. And you can go over to YouTube and watch us on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And even if you don't watch us on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, go over there and subscribe to the channel, and then take Boogie broadcasts and share them on Facebook, share them everywhere on social media that you go, and just tell people that we're on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. And anybody, like I said, anybody is welcome to come join the broadcast. So that's my rant on Maui. I watched Bill Muckler's broadcast on Friday, and he made it sound like it's a pretty sad situation over there, that the island of Maui does not have the resources to rebuild itself. So the resources are going to have to be brought in. I don't know if he said that they would have to be delivered to the ports of Hawaii and then probably broken down into smaller vessels and brought over to Maui to do it. I have no idea how long it's going to take. It's absolutely appalling to me that President Let's Go Barbie has decided that we will give people $700 to rebuild their homes on Maui, but we're sending $100 billion to Ukraine for nothing. For really absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm an American citizen. I'm tired of seeing us do what we're doing and not taking care of the people here in the United States of America. Coming on the screen right now is Jerry Michaels. As soon as, there it is, Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion is here. And so we'll just do a little bit of talking and see whatever comes up. And then, like I said, hopefully Randy Rhodes will join us with the Maui report. If not, anybody watching will come on with some comments, and we'll just kind of go from there. What is new and exciting in your neck of the woods, Mr. Michaels? Your microphone is on.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Is it raining?
Thing.
Is it raining there now or raining up here? Okay.
It just got done a half hour, 40 minutes ago. Came down for a little while.
Yeah.
Stopped.
Yeah. So you got it. We had it just before 5. So hopefully it won't be too bad down there.
No.
You're the first guest in our new home in our beautiful new StreamYard studios.
Funny, it looks the same.
It looks the same.
Exactly
yeah,
the same.
We're gonna have one of those StreamYard interior decorators come tomorrow probably. And whoops, I didn't want to do that. And
I see.
Do some set decorations, maybe. I don't know. No, I didn't want to do that.
Well,
I should know how to do.
Whatever you think, Dave, is fine.
Yeah, I should know how to do this. I played with it long enough, but unfortunately, didn't have a chance to come down and give it a new fancy look. And it works anyway, so hopefully. As I said, anybody's welcome to come in and talk about what they want to talk about. I did do a little bit on the sad state of Maui and how I think we need to talk to President. I was born in Hawaii and Secretary of the Deep State, and see if. And I threw that out just for comedy, just for laughs, because he claims to be born in Hawaii. So, I don't know if anybody will in fact take that and look at it and see if anything had to do with it.
I want to know why the most famous resident of all of the islands in Hawaii is so silent. I haven't heard a word out of him about any of this.
Cool.
I'm sorry, that seems odd.
Yep.
It really does.
Yeah. They rounded off a whole bunch in an article that I read.
Then when
Whoops. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's all right. Go ahead.
Homes Hollywood homes, mansions that didn't get damaged at all. They said Oprah Winfrey's home didn't get damaged at all. But like I said, what really gets me going is anybody who lost their home got offered $700 while we're sending $100 billion a day to Ukraine. Just doesn't make any sense to me anymore.
It hasn't. Well, sending money to Ukraine has never made sense to me, but I can agree with that. Also, I'm hearing a lot of things. People send you stuff, and I don't know. This seems the people on the ground are telling a completely different story than the people that are actually reporting on it are. So I always go to the lowest common denominator in everything. And I'm going to go with the people on the ground who live there and what they have to say, because they're probably closer to the truth than what, the mainstream media is reporting, obviously. The devastation is worse. More, last time I saw was 150 people dead. They're saying it's way more. The governor, I guess, has done a really bad job. He just came back from the UN and someplace else, World Economic Forum, I think, talking about these 15-minute cities, smart cities. I'm hearing about metal melt. The hot fire was so hot, metal melted. I can't eat. I have garbage fires all the time here, and I can't get a tin can from a can of beans to melt in that fire. No matter how much wood I may put on that fire, I can't get a can of metal to melt. So explain to me how that happened.
Yeah.
I
heard our governor got booed off the stage in Iowa. I saw a video the other day that they were we want Trump, let's go Trump. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Then you got you're the president of the United States. No commenting a question about Maui, and just nothing's adding up as far as logical thinking. So you got to look behind that and wonder what exactly is going on. And I've been hearing a lot of stuff, but I'm just a Jerry from Chiefland, so I don't know. But what I do know is that something ain't right as usual.
No.
And it all seems to go back to New World Order. The World Economic Forum. All these different places that seem to have all the power in the world, and you got to wonder, because we're living in a bizarro world where everything that should be done is the exact opposite is being done. It's bizarro world. It really is. There's no rhyme or reason for anything we're seeing. We have a president who is mentally incapacitated. I've been up and alive through all the presidents, but I'm pretty sure there's never been one this bad.
No.
I know Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's before he got out of office, and they kind of covered that up. But it was, he wasn't in long once they figured it all out.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe Biden had it long before
he
got in. It's just gotten worse. So.
And I just don't get it when they can, what's the word I want? Compare. When they try to compare things they're accusing Trump of doing with crimes that Biden, in fact, committed. That, everybody seems to agree that he took stuff from the Senate when he was a senator. And if you do that, that's illegal. You violate your oath of office, you're gone. If you keep stuff, or you maybe took more stuff when you're vice president, that's against the law. And I think that time your back goes up against the wall, or a rope goes around your neck and they spank the horse, and that's the end of it. So with all of that, what I don't understand is, why is he still president? Plus, the FBI didn't have that tax form. Now they have that tax form. Half of Congress claims they've seen the tax form. The IRS admits it's real. Why have they just not impeached him? I mean, I understand that our elected representatives are not elected by us; they're elected by the people who put the money in their pockets, so they're going to do where the money tells them to do. But if you look at it, as everybody says, we're a country that works on rule of law. By rule of law, he shouldn't be there. So
no, neither should half the people that would be doing the voting. So
I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that 80-year-old set should be gone. If 80-something years old is too old to be the president, then it's got to be too old for other people. And I'm sure the Democrats are hoping that Feinstein can make it just until Election Day. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to be.
She just fell down.
Yeah.
She just fell down. They said Day was in a hospital for a while, or a day or so, whatever. But no, most of the people who will be doing impeachment voting should be thrown out of office also, for one reason or another. They all should be out of office.
Yep.
We are so corrupted that in order to, we would literally have to completely just fire every single person in government and start over. And within a couple of years, it'd probably be right back to the way it was.
Probably.
Because the government, back during the Civil War, Lincoln believed in a strong central government. That's because he wanted to be in charge. He was not some huckabuck, Southern lawyer as they make him out to be. He was a stone cold politician, and he wanted the power. And the Union winning the Civil War consolidated that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have ended up, if he'd lived or died, it would have ended up the same way today, because that's where the direction they were heading in that time. And here we are. The state governments are all on a financial leash. So the minute that they don't like something the federal government's doing, they say no, they lose funding. The only reason like Florida doesn't have state tax is because we take a lot of federal money.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that simple. All right, and even states taking state taxes are taking federal money. It's just politicians spend money like it's not theirs. Oh, and by the way, it's not. It's taxpayer dollars, and they spend it on bad investments, bad, everything except what they are supposed to spend it on. Like, I don't know. I've been hearing about infrastructure since I was in my 20s, so maybe that. I don't know. But it's unfortunate, and it's just it's time for it to get turned around. It's time for the people of the United States stand up and say, like in the movie, we're mad as hell, and we can't take it anymore. We're done.
No.
It's that simple. Things were going along well for a long time, and then in the early 1900s, everything changed. Everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with greed. A lot of it has to do with, the 7 deadly sins. Every one of them is on display in the United States government and every other government we have in this country: state, county, city,
Mhm.
down to the tiniest hamlet. Um, so we have a place not too far down the street. It's called Otter Creek, Otter, and they're finding out just how corrupt that government is in a town of
Oh, okay.
just about 100 people.
Ouch.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Um, and this all started because the town thought they were going to rip this guy off for his water bill, and they were going to continue to do it, and then they were going to force him out of town, and they picked the wrong guy. Now this guy is a complete and utter asshole. I can't stand listening to the sound of this guy's voice. He is a narcissist beyond belief, but he's the kind of guy that went in there, had the money, and fought him and sued the hell out of the entire town. And now the mayor is in trouble, or the former mayor. The town clerk is in all kinds of trouble, and they are the town clerk quit her job. The mayor got voted out as mayor. He's just a councilman now, and they have a weird voting system there. So he was given the 1 year term to get him out. They got another one on there that's just batshit crazy. So but it doesn't matter what size of the government. Okay,
Yeah.
they're corrupt. You give these people power. Like down in Florida, we got what's called a sunshine law. And I remember when they brought that in, it was years ago. And it's garbage because there's no such thing as, shining light on the government. Not unless you have a mainstream media and a press that are chock full of real investigative reporters, no matter who is in office, what side is in control. Okay. We don't have that. We only seem to have that when it's a Republican in control.
Yeah.
And even then, as we can see with Donald Trump, I don't know the total of the charges he is facing in all these lawsuits and indictments and everything. But I'm going to
I
tell you
know.
this: they're going to get him on one, at least. They're going to get him. Everybody keeps saying it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. But when it's not all bullshit, when the charges are bullshit, the judge is bullshit, the juries are going to be bullshit, and they're all going to be corrupt because they all hate this guy. Okay, they're going to get him on at least one of these, one charge.
But then they say,
now, they're going to.
Right. They're saying that even if they get him on a charge and he goes to prison for some amount of time, there's nothing that says he can't be president, or there's nothing that says he can't run, and there's nothing that says he can't serve from prison. And which I don't want to see happen.
The opinion.
But
I've always been of the opinion. I've always been told that a felon can't. I mean, even ever since I was in like third grade. I mean, you remember third grade, they start teaching you about the government.
Yeah.
And you learn a little bit more each year and stuff. And yeah, exactly. If you go to prison, you a felony, you can't be president. If you weren't born here, you can't be president.
Right.
I personally believe if you weren't born here, you should not be in any government anywhere in this country. You become a citizen. That's as high as you get. That's my opinion. But because because it isn't, look what we got in the House and the Senate. Okay, it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Ted Cruz is a naturalized citizen, but he was born in Canada.
Yeah, I know. That's what I don't get. And apparently that doesn't matter. I don't know. I did.
Well, it's the same. I assume it's the same thing that got Ilhan Omar here and got her elected because obviously she wasn't born here, and the votes probably moved with her.
And I don't. Well, yeah, they were all put in one place by Obama. So And she's not like your normal Muslim woman who looks like, she was run over by a tractor trailer. I'm not saying she's pretty, but
No.
she is a rattlesnake. And actually a rattlesnake is more honest. A rattlesnake, you come up on a rattlesnake, they're gonna bite you probably. They want to bite you. They're gonna
Yeah.
try to bite you. Okay. And they make no bones about it. All right. Illian Omar has that little condescending smile and says a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, makes you want to punch her in the face repeatedly. And yet there are so many that defend her, and I am
Yeah.
not one of them. She
Yeah.
is an evil little bitch who needs to be dealt with in an unsavory type of way,
God
in my
forbid the
opinion, of course.
Democrats take the House back in 2024. Could you see them making AOC Speaker of the House just for the hell of it? I mean, personally, I think that's the
I
only
doubt it.
reason that Pelosi is still in the House as a representative and hasn't resigned, because she's hoping if they take it back in 2024, they'll reinstate her in the House. I personally think that she has her eyes on Dianne Feinstein's Senate seat, but they're both around the same age, I think. So, you know,
Yeah.
if an age
Well,
if an age limit comes, Pelosi might find herself sleeping in a cardboard tent in San Francisco.
I doubt that.
No, I don't.
No, I think, we can all celebrate the fact that she says that she may want to retire, and maybe she will. But who's next? See, that's the problem. You get rid of one person who is a cancer, and there is always someone to replace that cancer. That's it's like, remember John Bonner. Everyone hated
Yeah,
John Bonner. He's a drunk,
yeah,
he was rhino, he was everything bad about the Republicans, okay? And he finally, for whatever reason, that seemed really weird to me, by the way,
yep,
that he just retired, okay?
yeah, just up and left.
Nevertheless, who did we get? We got the one guy who, in the beginning, refused to be Speaker of House, didn't want the job, told everybody through the press he didn't want the job, and then suddenly took the job
Yeah,
in Paul Ryan, who was just as bad. And Paul Ryan went through with Trump and did everything he could not to put any of his policies in
yeah,
place as laws. And then he decided to retire or quit or whatever. And now we got McCarthy. There's always a cancer to replace a cancer. And the problem is that the cancer apparently is lighter than truth. So it floats to the top of the leadership.
I have
We got
always wanted
McConnell,
to
who
know what they told Boehner to get him to leave. Just always have wanted to know,
I
because
don't know.
it didn't seem like they went
I don't
public with any reasons. He just up and said, I'm leaving. And you
Yeah.
always want to think that maybe they had him on something that he didn't want to go public with or anything, but there was never a reason. He just up and left.
All I know is every State of the Union, he was back there with his eyes look like two fried eggs in a snowbank behind whoever the president was for years. That's all I know. The guy was a freaking drunk. And public knowledge he was a drunk, even though it was like, spoken of in hushed tones. He was a drunk. All right. And guess who else was? Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
And I ain't worried about the drunk. I've met many drunks that were highly intelligent and thought would not have thought to do the stupid things they did.
Yeah.
Okay. But the evil behind their intent and the out and out lies. I mean, Nancy Pelosi should go down in history as the person who said we have to pass it in order to know what's in it.
Yeah.
But she's not. She'll go, and same thing with Hillary Clinton. When these people die, they will be lauded by both sides with 7 funerals and, you know, uncounted amount of, speeches on how great they were in their public service and all this. And in reality, all they did was screw the United States of America, which in the United States of America is the people therein, and they screwed every one of us. John McCain, how many funerals that moron have? How everybody's talking about great John McCain was. John McCain was a piece of garbage from the time he joined the Navy until the time he died.
Yeah.
I was happy when John McCain died a horrible, painful, freaking death.
Okay.
Oh, you can't be mean to the dead. Why not? They don't care anymore. And you know what? I don't have to put up with his crap. Sorry, we're at a point now where, this whole, be polite to the dead is not going to work for me.
No.
All right. It's not.
Hopefully, wherever he is now, he doesn't feel any pain.
Well, I hope he does for many, many years and many centuries and many millennia. Okay. If there's a hell, I hope John McCain's in it.
Okay.
All right. And many others. I mean, John McCain wasn't Hitler. I get that, but then John McCain had his own way of doing things.
Yeah. I think Hitler's
the day he laughed when he voted for Obamacare with the Democrats. Yeah, the day he voted for Obamacare with the Democrats and was laughing and getting slapped on the back by the Democrats for doing it. It will be an image in my mind for many years. I have no use for him. I have no use for many of these people. As a matter of fact, I have to be truthful. If, like in the movie King Ralph, lightning struck the Capitol building and everyone died, the only one I would feel sorry for was possibly the janitor. I'll be truthful.
See, William Grant says he's not a McCain fan either. I have to make a change after the after the broadcast. I have to reconnect something that I don't have set up here, so the live chat's not going to the screen like it's supposed to. I'll fix that up tomorrow. But if you're watching in the Boogie with if you're watching on the Dave Goldman profile on the Facebook page, you see it, but
on here.
Yeah, you see it, but I don't have it coming up on the live producer screen because I forgot when I set up the links to the pages to connect to give it permission to take the chats. So I'll make that change first thing in the morning.
No probs. Yeah. Well,
no, actually, I do see it.
Right. I mean, and you know what?
William. Yeah, I do
John
see
McCain
William
is just a name we give all of them. Really, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. John McCain is just a name we give all of them. Look at them all. Look at them.
Okay.
And the sad part is, along with all the lies, they're telling us the truth every now and again too. What they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. They have this country locked down and everything. There is no way to hide. There is nothing you can do to do anything without a government intervention of some sort. Name one thing you can do on a daily basis that one government or another in this country is not heavily involved in. With laws, rules, regulations, the ability to arrest you, the ability to fine you, the ability to put you in jail for. There are so many laws that each and every one of us probably break 10 of them a day. Okay, if you're a normal person out and about.
The only thing that scares me the most is that one day someone with a badge will knock on my door and arrest me for violating freedom of speech. That would be something like getting mad at somebody on a Facebook broadcast, and someone with a badge here over Florida State Police will knock on my door and say, "You can't say that." Boom, you're under arrest. And then the show between Trump and the courts and the judges, that a lot of that is just show. But when it gets down to someone knocking on your door, or knocking on my door, or someone knocking on my door with a badge and saying you're going with us because of what you said on Facebook last night, that will scare the crap out of me, because I'll figure it's just over. Because I joke with friends of mine every day on Facebook who can't even breathe without getting kicked off for months at a time. And I go, I've been here for 14 years, and the worst they ever did is 2 times they kicked me off for a week. And
all I know is this: it's coming. All right, it's coming.
Yeah,
they're already doing this in England. If you say something mean on Facebook or any social media, they will come to your door.
Yep.
And they can arrest you, and they can take you to court, and they can put you in jail and fine you for it.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, Russia has been disappearing people. Communist countries have been disappearing people for as long as communism and socialism and all that crap's been around. Cuba does it on almost a daily basis down there. And Cuba is a speck in the world, and they're doing it. Okay. Russia does it. China does it. If you don't like the way they're doing things and you have the ability to open your mouth, you take a chance of your family never seeing you again. And it's a really good chance. So how would that, with the activist judges we have and the Supreme Court, you can't tell which way they're going to float. Okay. How do we, has anyone think that could never happen here?
Yep.
At one time, we all thought that the mainstream media would always be on the people's side. When it turns out they've never been on the people's side. They've always been on the Democrats' side. Whether the Democrats were the racist ones back in the 17 and 1800s, or the liberal side now, doesn't matter. The mainstream media is nothing more than a propaganda arm, just like in every communist country where you have one state-run TV, one state-run radio or something, and whatever they say is the truth, whether it's a lie or not. So it's nothing new what's happening. None of this is new. I mean, back in the day, the powerful have always been in charge, even in this country. The rich have always been in charge, even in this country. And the rich have always been the most powerful, even in this country, from day one until now.
Daryl Rector is in the live chat. Daryl, if you want to take the link, I just shot it in there. Randy Rhodes, you have a link, so come join me. Come join us if you want. Daryl, let me see if I can take a second and send you the link. I did make sure I set that up before we went live. Let me see if this will let me. Yep, it should. Daryl Rector.
Well,
all right, Daryl, if you get the link, you're welcome to join us. And Randy, you are expected to join us. I did mention at the beginning that you had the Maui fire report you wanted to present. Daryl says that his battery is low. Well, then, Daryl, you're more than welcome to invite us on, not invite us, but join us on Thursday if you want. I'd appreciate it very much.
Daryl, you still ain't bought an extension cord? What the hell, man? Daryl still ain't bought an extension cord for his charger. Anyway,
okay.
You can buy really long charging cords too, Daryl. I have one. It's like 6 foot long. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I used to have one that was 50 feet long. Yep. I had one that was 50 feet long. Yep.
You can't tell Daryl. We've been waiting 3 years for him to get his his studio done, and he says he's almost there. I don't know what that means anymore, but Daryl, we love Daryl. He seems to be getting better lately.
Magnetic
His
charger.
whole demeanor seems to be a lot better.
He says
And,
magnetic
I'm happy for him.
charger. I don't know what a magnetic charger is,
Right.
but
I don't either. But Daryl knows things, so you gotta believe him. He knows things.
Daryl knows things, and Nikki Young probably knows how to explain them so that I understand what they are.
Well, yeah, Nick spends a lot of time explaining things to me too. I don't know. I just between the both of them, it's a little scary what they know. I gotta be truthful. But Daryl sent me or sent us we have a group thing for the show, so he sent us a video. I think it was Antarctica and how they have places that in Antarctica with no snow, no and like minerals and enough coal to run the country till I don't know millennial or something. I don't know something. And it's something I've never heard of. And you would think, and this is an old video too. This is Admiral somebody, Bird maybe, I don't know, was exploring up here with an airplane, taking like 20 zillion pictures. It looked like it was from the late 60s, early 70s. It could have been from the 50s. I don't know. What I do know is that I had never heard of it, and I'm looking at this like, wow, okay. Anyway, so one more thing in the pile of crap that the government is just I got to tell you something. If we actually knew what the government was doing, say there was a moment where all of us were suddenly told, or somehow every single thing that the government has ever done to anyone and everyone in the country, there would be an instant war. How you doing, Randy?
I had to mute my mic because the one of the dogs in Studio B is going, but good evening, Randy. Welcome to the broadcast. It is my pleasure to have you here.
Not doing too bad. Is my microphone sounding okay to you?
Your microphone sounds great, but the dogs in Studio B are howling, so I'm going to sit on my mic and sit on my mic and not.
I just lost my camera. Hang on.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back, Dave.
All right. I'll be right back. That's fine. That's fine. Everybody's taking a break. So it's just me. You're watching Boogie with the Bull Uncensored. We're on the James Gloven profile. Tonight we're in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group here on Facebook and over on YouTube. We're on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, it's free. And you can watch, I think, 42 Boogie with the Bulls now. And the original video that we shot, Raptar invites a friend to dinner. And I'll let you guys just go over there and watch it and share the broadcast from there. Anybody is welcome to join the broadcast. The link is on the screen. And that's about all I can say on that. With us tonight is Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion. Randy Rhodes, the genealogist of Facebook, All Roads Lead to Home, and that Southern organization whose name I can't remember.
Southern Independence Association.
He was looking a little like Max Headroom there for a minute.
Yeah.
He was looking a little like Max Headroom for a minute.
He was.
Anywho. So yeah, had a little bit of complication with my broadcast this morning when Jen came on. Same problem I had before. I think either you or Jerry with the audio with the speakers on the browser. That's why I'm using the headset because it's not seeing my speakers. So I got to worry about that tomorrow. But Jen came on for like 10 minutes, and then she ran out of stuff to talk about, and she, poofed.
Hey, I got a question for both of you guys. How do you change the order of the cameras? Like if I wanted to be down where Randy is and have you two guys above me, how do you do that?
It's magic.
Or does it just automatically come up however it wants to put you?
No, you actually have to go to, let me get out of the big screen here.
You stick the cursor on the person's face. You click, left click, and you just move the entire thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah. Okay. All right. That works. That works. That works.
So, I haven't seen any recent updates on the Maui fire, other than the fact that our beloved Commander-in-Chief is offering $700 per adult to help with relocation costs. And he just gave, $60 billion or $40 billion to Ukraine. So you know what? If I were those people on the island, I'd tell them to screw with $700. Because you know what's going to happen? If they accept the $700 and leave their property, guess who's going to come in and scoop up their land? And that was some of the conversation before. For several months now, some billionaires have been trying to buy that land. And the property owner said, no, we're not for sale. We're not leaving. And all of a sudden, he had this horrendous fire. Tell me that's not a coincidence.
I know Zuckerberg owns a large amount of Hawaiian property, and I think Gates does too.
So does Oprah Winfrey, because she actually has a land there where she has illegals living off her dime.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel sorry for her because she lost a lot of her net worth when Silicon Valley Bank went bust. She had a huge amount of money in that bank, and I don't want to see anybody lose their money to a bank, but
I do. Well, I want to see Oprah Winfrey homeless and behind the shopping cart. I do. I want to see Oprah Winfrey homeless and behind the shopping cart.
Now, did you want to see some of these videos about the fire or not? You mentioned in your text to me. Do you want to see it or not? I can share them.
It's up. Yeah, we can see them.
Okay.
The video being shared may be copyrighted, and if it is, we don't have permission to use it, and we're using it anyway. And if you don't like it and you get notified by Facebook and it's yours, please contact me, because in the 4-year history of Boogie with the Bull broadcast, everybody who has contacted me for violating their copyright has patted me on the back and said, "Great job, do it again." And
there you go.
Is incredibly frustrating for me because I am the media.
Let me get this on.
I'm the editor of Maui Times, and I've tried relentlessly to get direct information. This narrative that the media is lying about the reality of the Lahaina fire is incredibly frustrating for me because I am the media. I am the editor of Maui Times, and I have tried relentlessly to get direct information from the County of Maui as well as the Maui Police Department. Both entities have been radio silent and have not responded to any of my calls or emails over the past few days. I also spoke to Maui police officers in person in Lahaina, and they all denied me my First Amendment right to freedom of the press by denying me access to Lahaina town as well as denying me information. They even sent me on a wild goose chase trying to find their media coordinator who had conveniently gone home for the day by the time I found where he was supposed to be. So it is not the media who is lying to you because I am obligated to only report what has been confirmed. Who's lying to you is the government entities who are trying to cover their asses and not take accountability for how grossly mismanaged this entire situation has been. Maybe if we make this go viral, I'll actually get a response from them. This narrative that the media...
Okay, so that's one.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Ouch.
Okay. I have two more. This one here is just an image. I'm not sure if you can read it, but it says, my source in Maui said the death toll is close to 1,000. Said it's so bad they can't identify people and they're transporting bodies into buildings to shield them from view. One building alone, he guessed, had about 500 bodies. This is the last one.
Milo, your mask is dirty. It's better. Holy. Yeah, just wash it. That's gonna be great. We're out of the water now. Oh no!
And we got trapped.
Yep. Yeah, power went out maybe 5:30.
Now, obviously, you're going to have your conspiracy theorists, right? Mm-hmm. So I did catch one of those. Now, there was two. One I saw an image of what they claim was an energy beam, which we do have, the capability. We do have military planes and naval vessels that can produce a energy beam that can blow shit up and start, extreme fires. This one here is a little bit more extreme, but let's see if I can play it here for you. I think it's right here. Is it here? Yeah, this is it. You get a kick out of this one.
Look behind you. Insane. Whoa, did you see that just shoot across? Did anyone else see that? Look behind you.
So obviously that one's supposed to be a UFO. But there's video of the police chief was being interviewed by the reporters, and I mentioned this in my broadcast this morning. And reporters were doing their job. They were asking questions. How many people are accounted for? How many people? How many casualties? How many deaths, and so forth. And he said to them, "Did you take notice when you're walking in here, all the dust and dirt you were walking on?" And they said, "Yes." He said, "You're walking on people." So essentially saying that the flames, they said the flames and the heat was so intense, it was melting the cars, steel, and it was melting the rubbers of the tire to a liquid molten. That's how intense the heat was. And I'm sorry. I know fires are fires, but to have something that extreme, that's not your normal, trees on fire and brush on fire scenario. That's something else that had to create that type of intensity to melt cars and melt rubber and to incinerate people. My personal opinion, for what it's worth.
Hang on a second. Michael Anthony is in the live chat. Michael, you have the link. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome. General Rector might join us on Thursday, maybe. And anybody else watching, share the broadcast if you want. I hope you will. But Michael, you're welcome to join us if you want. You have the link if you are so inclined. It's a mess over there. I mean, it really is. But the stick, like we said earlier, the slap in the face is, I'll give you $700 to relocate,
Well, the excuse they're using, and you watch. They made a comment in the news, on one of the newscasts, that because of the molten metal and the rubber melting, that it released poisonous gases and hazardous materials into the air. And they're going to not allow people to return to the island for several months because of the hazardous condition of the island. They're going to use that as an excuse. You watch for those people not to return to their homes. And then watch how fast some industrial billionaire picks up that land for next to nothing.
Yeah, I think Daryl said earlier that it's a land grab, and Michael probably agreed. And Jerry shaking his head yes, that it had to be something like that. It had to be a land grab, and what comes to mind immediately is the Secretary of the Deep State's what do you call it? Haiti. That they're going to turn it into, they're going to do. So I don't know what they'll do with it other than, I can imagine just some elitists are going to set up shop on Maui, take over Hawaii, and make it another country. Or
our government sucks. You know that? It really does.
Talking about these, they're talking about these smart cities, which I think are also called 15-minute cities or whatever it is. And Hawaii wants to be on the cutting edge of this, according to its governor and so forth. So, I'm not going to pretend like I know for sure. All I'm going to say is I got to tell you, there's again, when I watch something going on during war, I don't want to hear from the generals. I don't want to hear from the politicians. I want to hear from the guy on the ground what's happening. And this is no different. I want to hear from the people on the ground, not so much their personal experience, but exactly what happened in their area. Okay, were there alarms going off? From what I hear, there were not. How do you not sound an alarm on that?
That they said the siren system was not functional. The other thing too that they mentioned is that earlier in the day,
in the jail during with Epstein either. Wasn't the cameras weren't functional in the jail when Epstein was in there? Yeah, okay.
They're saying that earlier in the day, the fire started out, the firefighters responded, and they put the fire out. Now they knew that they were going to be expecting 70-mile-an-hour winds later that day. Here where I live, if we have a brush fire or unbrushed fire or something like that. They'll put the fire out, but then they'll leave some of their men and equipment there for a few more hours, just in case that the flames kick up again.
Right. Most big city fire departments do that.
So their fire department completely left the island, and then the winds kicked in, and the fires came back.
Listen.
And then, from what I was hearing, is that they were denied the ability to go back to fight the fire.
So that can only.
I've had 2 fires near this property within literally 75 feet of this property. Okay. They came out. They dug trenches. They put out the fires or let them burn out and so forth. All right. What they're called is flare-ups, because not only is the stuff on top of the ground on fire,
It's underneath.
especially anywhere that is wooded, like where I live. Okay, shit under the ground is on fire.
Yeah.
It's not flames, it's just smoldering. Okay, so flare-ups are a thing. I walked outside the next day after the first one, walked up to the top of the property, and the trees, not the trees, but the plants and stuff. And we got these things called palmetto trees down here. They look like miniature palm trees, and they're invasive everywhere. But those things were still smoking the following morning. Okay.
Pretty
So
hot.
I don't know what would have happened with 40-mile-an-hour breezes blowing through everything, or 60, you said, I think 65, whatever
70.
it was. Okay. But I can tell you that it's okay, 70. It would seem to me that they should have left stuff. I don't know. Maybe the newest guy that has to bring the donuts every day. Put him out there with a radio, just in case. Anything, instead of what they actually did do, which is, from what I can tell, nothing.
And the other thing they did, that the schools left the students out because of the fire. They closed school down early, said go home, okay? Didn't tell the damn parents. Parents are still at work. They found out later their kids are at home.
Yeah.
And for most cases, they couldn't get back to their homes to save their kids. So the one video I saw, video on the boots on the ground, said that the number of children deaths are going to be a lot higher than what they first anticipated.
Yep.
And that's
Or the number of missing children are going to be a lot higher.
Yeah, this whole thing, I guarantee you, is going to be criminal. And my guess is not one human being in charge is going to go to jail.
No.
I'm saying this now to avoid the rush later.
And they're a Democrat. And they're a Democrat, too.
They're going to blame Mother Nature. They're going to blame Trump at some point. It's going to be Trump's fault because of what he did in his last 4 years. You watch, Trump's going to be part of it.
I know, but I'm so tired because now I wish Trump had the balls to say in court sometime, and I know he does. I just wish he would say it. How am I responsible for what the idiot in my old office does 3 years after I left that office?
Yeah.
And Biden, because I still pray one day Joe Biden is going to wake up in the morning and he's just going to look at his valet, the guy that dresses him in the morning before he goes down to breakfast, and he's going to just look at that person and just start screaming at the top of his lungs, I can't do this anymore. And
talking about him, the reporters, when the fire was going on, his ass was out there riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
And then when the reporters caught up to him for some kind of comment, he said, no comment, and he just disappeared. My president, Donald J. Trump, was on the air, and he was addressing the nation as a president and commander-in-chief should have.
Trump would have been on Marine One, the helicopter, because you can't land a plane on, I don't know. I assume you can't land a plane on Maui. I listened to Bill Buckler's broadcast on Friday, and it didn't sound like, you can do that. Trump would have been in Marine One, and if he could have landed Marine One safely on Maui, he would have been there.
Yeah, no, not Marine One. I can see him coming up with a naval fleet with the troop carriers, where the doors go down and he walks out like MacArthur did,
Yeah.
and behind him are all these engineers and all these people bringing in supplies and so forth.
Bulldozers and the Army Corps engineers. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But it's sad. What are we going to do? We always discuss, what ifs, what can we do, what is there left to do. We got a year and a few months left of this charade of a administration, and President Trump said that he was waiting for that fourth indictment because he had something planned. Okay. Well, he got the fourth indictment out of Georgia. So I wonder what his plans are now that he got that fourth indictment. Because he was actually at his rally saying, bring it on. Give me this fourth indictment. I'm ready for you.
Isn't it this one? I don't know if this is the only one, but isn't this one because it's elections?
Yeah.
It's election fraud in Georgia. Isn't this one filed in federal court? And in federal court, doesn't he as a defendant or whatever have greater liability in greater access in what he can do? He can cross-examine with their witnesses. He can call his own witnesses. He can call their witnesses as his witnesses. It's and
the bullshit of it all is all he's doing is questioning the results of the election. Just like Hillary's still questioning the results of the election, and other Congress lady who lost her position. Yeah. All he's doing is questioning, and they're still coming out with all these damn pictures and videos of fraud.
Right.
And they're saying, "Oh, you can't talk about that, Trump. You cannot question the results of the election." Bullshit. He's got First Amendment rights. He can question the election results.
That's the biggest thing I got is that, the lawyers in Georgia are making it sound like he's threatening them, and, so they want to gag him. I mean, come on, this is just ridiculous. You want to gag him because he's going to sit there and tell the truth. Yeah. And hopefully America's going to just say enough is enough. And, I don't know. I hope.
I'm not sure if you guys are hearing about. I got a cat right next to my microphone purring. I can hear her in my headset, so you guys might be able to hear her purring.
I can't hear her, but that's okay.
But so that's where we're at. So one of the things that I'm involved in, besides doing genealogy, is I'm doing the Southern Independence Association. And it's essentially it's a ground roots thing where we're trying to throw support behind the politicians who are standing up for the rights of the people. Okay.
Yeah.
Not just the southern states, but for the rights, the morals, and the true nature of our country. And we're willing to. The organization is willing to put money into play to help get these people reelected or help get them elected. They're really ready to put boots on the ground to do peaceful rallies. Okay. But at the same time, they're also looking for more volunteers across the southern states and the northern states, people to bring to me the names of politicians and their work addresses and so forth, who are against our nation, against the Southern heritage. They're for the destruction of the Southern heritage, so that we can then go out and rally against them peacefully, like they've been doing against the conservative Republicans, saying, like they go out at nighttime, they're shining floodlights into people's bedrooms to try and keep them awake, or they're disturbing their family meals. We're not going to do that. what they're going to do is they're going to go out and rally around. They're going to pass out brochures, literature peacefully, and say, "Hey, this is what we are for. This is what we support, and what the hell is your problem? And if you don't come on board, we got the numbers, we got the money. We're going to throw behind getting your ass, out of office." And that's what they're all about. They're like a political arm of the South. So that's what we're up to.
Jerry, any comments? I had to turn my mic off for a second anyway because the dogs were starting to go. Comments?
I don't know how many counts there are altogether. We discussed this at the beginning on all the indictments. I'm sure it's got to be close to 50 to 75. And cumulative.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Well, the first one was 37. Yeah. So
don't underestimate. See, the problem we are having right here is a classic problem of underestimating the enemy. Are these things unconstitutional that he did? Probably not. Okay, probably not. But do we have a corrupted justice system? Yes. Do we have corrupted politicians? Yes. Do we have corrupted prosecutors? And yes. Do we have juries that hate him because they think he's a racist and those are the people that are going to be on the juries? Absolutely. Do not underestimate the fact that he won't get out of this somehow. Don't do it. Because if this was truly unconstitutional, in a perfect world, the judge would have thrown these charges out already in some of these cases that have gotten that far. Okay. And the judges have not. One of the judges is actually, from what I understand, a brand new, just sworn in judge. Why are they giving it to him in particular is my question.
Well,
okay?
we
do not question everything anymore. More than likely, which is, and they all want to be on TV taking Trump down, which is exactly what's going to end up probably happening somehow. Now, when it gets to the Supreme Court, do a lot of these stand or any of them stand? I'm going to go with probably not. But that will completely screw up his run for president.
Yeah.
If he's actually in jail. Okay. I am divided on whether he can even run for president. When
I tend to believe.
Okay,
I tend to believe you
that a lot of people have told me that. This is what I'm going to tell you. It's going to screw up his run for president, and that's all they care about. The entire country knows that.
Right. If he's
whether
in
they want
jail,
to admit it or not.
If he's in jail, I have to wonder if Republicans that support him and want him to run, I have to wonder if he is in jail, they will support him. Because things change once you're in jail. In court you can say I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty. And if the judge says you're going to jail for 40 years, you're gone. And supposedly in one of the indictments, they changed the wording on the Stormy Daniels hush money to falsifying business records, but it was worded in a way that makes it a felony and not just a slap on the wrist misdemeanor that you worded it funny. So almost like what I got from that article was like they did, they worded some of them so that there was a chance that a judge would bite into it and say, yeah, you're doing something. I just can't see any judge that looks at things and looks at him realistically, saying, you're
Politico said that if Trump is arrested and tried and put in jail, he can still legally run for president.
Yeah. Well, Politico is a BS Facebook wannabe fact checker, and 99% of the things they say one way are wrong. But
I'm at a point where if this continues, And we know. Okay, first off, we all know 80% of this nation knows that the Bidens and the administration and the justice system is crooked. Okay, the point is, what can we do about it? Absolutely freaking nothing. Okay, the only thing we can do is if they arrest him, put him behind bars, then this damn nation that supported him, I better rise the frig up and said enough's enough. Because they can put him in prison, they can do they can come to you, me, anyone on Facebook and throw us in jail for just talking about this. All he did was he talked about the election and the process and which was illegal, and they're trying to put him in prison. We're doing the exact same thing. So are we going to have the same risk?
Well, I said that to Jerry earlier, that my biggest fear isn't a lot of this other stuff. It's they knock on my door tomorrow morning and say, you were on with Randy and Jerry and you said, blah, 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 that it's my First Amendment right. And they arrest me for hate speech or whatever. I have an admin in one of my groups, great gal. It's not Jen, great gal, but she puts up a bunch of memes every morning, and one of them gets nailed for hate speech almost every day. And they're not, but they, eventually, so it's like I said, eventually my big fears are going to knock on my door and they're going to say, no free speech, or worse, they're going to zap my bank account for the pennies that I have in it every morning. And, I still can't understand that. We have people who just seem to be bending over and saying, okay, yeah, say whatever you want, but we're gonna give you this new bank card, and if you say something wrong, the money's just gonna disappear.
Someone's skinning your dog.
I know. No, we got a new 12-week husky, and she's a whiner, but she does usually calm down. But
I've said this before, and I would not blame him. If President Donald Trump tonight decided to shut down everything he could, liquidate everything he could, and take his family and leave this damn country behind, I would not blame him one bit.
Yeah,
I would not blame him. And more than likely, the Democrats won't go after him, but that's what they want. They don't want him to run.
But at this point, I think he would lose. He'd lose a lot of support.
Well, at this point, it doesn't really matter because the Republicans in the Congress and the Senate aren't even hardly sticking up for him anymore. They're more or less saying, look, step aside. You got too much weight on you with the legal system going on. Just step aside, Trump. You did your thing. You just bring too much baggage. Just step aside. He doesn't have that support. And before, when he ran and he got those people behind him and he got them in, they stabbed him in the freaking back. So he can't trust the people. The Democrats, holy shit! You tell them the shit, they ask you what color. That's how loyal they are.
Okay.
You are absolutely correct. This is why I do not understand for the life of me how anybody thinks Trump is going to get into office. I mean, we are classically throughout history, look at armies that have underestimated. Go to sports teams. The best team in the league loses to the worst team. Why? Because they went in there and they underestimated that at any point anybody can win. And we're doing the exact same thing with all these things where everybody's just blowing it off like it's nothing. I will be shocked if he gets through every one of these and be found not guilty. I'd be shocked.
Right.
Completely and totally shocked. I'd be happy, but I'd be
shocked with you,
because
but
in the end.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Jerry.
Go ahead. It's all right.
Okay. I would be shocked, like you said, if he made it through without getting nailed on something. But even if he didn't get nailed on anything, it all got dismissed. If he ends up with a Democrat super Congress for winning the 2024 election, they will find something to impeach him on. And that's part of what keeps coming back to me, that I'm sure there are some Republicans out there going, the risk of getting him elected isn't equal to the risk that he's going to get on inauguration day. He's going to get impeached.
I don't think they have the balls anymore, the Republicans. I mean, they can impeach Biden and Kamala Harris on a dozen different things in the past 3 years.
But I'm not talking about
evidence.
Right, but I'm not talking about our side.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. The Republicans could, at this point, impeach him a dozen times and impeach her. But they don't have the balls. They want to make sure all the evidence is in place. We don't want anything getting away. Well, by the time they get everything together to satisfy themselves, it's going to be 2024. We're facing a Dominion software and the theft of the 2024 election.
Georgia should make Ratfinkberger, it's not his real name, but Ratfinkberger, the Secretary of State, has said that they will not put in the new software update that Dominion put out, not saying that, not acknowledging anything, but saying it could take care of things like this that happened in the past or could happen in the past, because he said there's not enough time to get it into all of the Georgia Dominion voting machines and test it before the election. I came back the first time I heard that, watching him say it once in a press conference. You ought to just quit now, because you basically have told us that you're hoping your Dominion machines in Georgia do exactly what they did in 2020.
Yeah.
You know? But,
we're screwed. Either way, the conservative Republicans of this nation are screwed.
No shit. They're not going to do jack. And the exact same thing is going to happen the next goddamn time.
Jerry, you lost
you
your
know
mind.
what? I would argue. I would argue with the fact if we even have conservative politicians, or if that's just a rhetoric, because judging by what they pass and how they don't stop anything, is utterly. It's up for argument whether we have any conservative freaking people in this damn government. Okay, I think it's just rhetoric. So they get elected, and then they go and they raise everybody's taxes to ungodly amounts. They give money away like it's going out of style. I don't know. It's Randy's right. It's hard to feel sorry for Republicans when they do absolutely nothing to change anything.
They got elected in. They got their cushy job. They got that nice paycheck coming in. They can give themselves a raise every year without anyone questioning it. What the hell do they care? Yeah. And the sad thing is that the constituents in their states aren't doing squat to show their displeasure at their representatives. Now, if they were Democrats doing what they're doing, you're damn much too. The Democrats be burning down the Republican cities.
Right. And then Jerry said it before, I think, that, we have to worry when all of this gets to the Supreme Court. We're supposed to believe that, that Amy, I can never remember her last name, and Kavanaugh and, John Roberts is supposed to be a Republican, but, when it gets to the Supreme Court, is Trump going to have the support of his Trump justices? And, or are they just slaves to the Democrat side of the court?
what happened last time when we were discussing about the election and Supreme Court justices had the ability to hear the argument about the theft of the election, that's when the Democrat Congress people got hold of their damn addresses, their phone numbers, and everywhere they friggin' lived, released it to their Black Lives Matter and their Antifa and their militia, and they got doxxed. They're outside their homes, outside their restaurants. They're threatening to kill them, and the justice backed off.
And that's one of the things why I think Michael Horowitz, who is the Inspector General of the Supreme Court, should be on a leash, getting dragged from House committee to Senate committee to explain, not that it's going to make any difference, to explain why, if he's the watch commander of the Justice Department, he ain't doing his job.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's hiding stuff. Yeah, just like, oh, we don't know who released the information about the judges. Sure,
they know exactly who.
We don't know who brought the cocaine
exactly
into the White House. Well, yeah, sure they do.
They know exactly who.
Yeah, so now that my blood pressure is sky freaking high, I'm going to Thanks, guys.
All right, Randy. Always a pleasure.
Toodles.
All right. Randy Rhodes, the genealogist to the stars on Facebook. And we were going to do a 10 a.m. broadcast this morning, but I hadn't gotten the new StreamYard set up yet. So I hope people got a chance to see the Maui fire report that he put together. But if it gets to the Supreme Court, Jerry, and they don't do anything, or they lock him up, you think that might trigger a civil war to end this stuff? And I mean, like you said, people are going to die, and people are going to be at home hoping that no one knocks on their door. I don't even think I'd be afraid of people knocking on my door and shooting. I'd just be afraid of people going up and down the street with guns, shooting anybody. They just shooting into homes, or dropping, I live close enough to the Jacksonville Naval Air Station that they could, probably take us out or, do whatever they had to do.
If I sincerely don't know what it's going to take. I don't. I know that financially, there ain't a damn thing I can do. I cannot march on the state government, the federal government. I can't do any of that crap.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can do is wait till they come to me and then deal with it then, and they'll end up killing me.
Yeah.
Because they ain't taking me without a fight. That much I can tell you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't know if that would make a difference either. I mean, when they see the government coming to your house for something, what you said, come in here, come in there. I mean, it's already happening in England, and then no one is doing anything about it. And it's not like the English people are a bunch of, people that are afraid of everything. There's a lot of brave people in England, just like anywhere else. I don't know what the hell it's going to take. I can tell you this. One of the worst things that's ever been done is what happened on January 6th to our side. Not because, people were pissed or whatever, but and didn't believe the election results. It's because of what they did when they got in there. Okay, because it gave the government lease to take their constitutional rights away, all that kind of thing. And actually, what we're seeing now is happening. And what good does it do? But what good is marching and all that stuff and protesting and handing out pamphlets? What good has it ever done?
It hasn't. I mean, it's done.
And I'll give you the answer. I don't know. It's not a damn bit of good.
It hasn't.
Damn bit of good.
And it's gotten to the point in my head on a lot of days. I spend a lot of my time on some days going, why bother to other than I enjoy the conversations that I have with people and the people that watch, you know, there's only so many days
Dave,
in a row
I've
you
been
can say
questioning that.
this is what we got to do. Yeah, and you've done it longer than me. You know, I mean, I was on autopilot
But
for 6
I've been
years in radio. You know, I just walked in and they handed me a big stack of papers, and you know, I had to read things and do whatever. But you know, I don't know how you haven't gouged your eyes out. I mean, I can obviously tell that you pulled your hair out in all the years that you've been doing this. But you know, and I tell people every day, I really enjoy doing this. But how effective is it in the grand scheme of things? Do people, you know, I used to say, I hope people find that one thing that clicks in their brain after the broadcast is done and maybe get some thinking. And lately it's just been,
well,
we're in some deep
I'll be
shit,
truthful.
Willis. We're in some deep shit, Willis.
Yeah, I first of all agree with you 100%. I have been
How do you do it? You've done it
thinking
for what,
this on
7
and
years?
off. I'll be 10. I'll be truthful with you. The only reason I get on here is because I enjoy talking to the people that we talk to. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you this, from 10 years ago when I started, which was during Obama. Okay. I thought I was fighting for something, the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back now at what was going on then, and it hasn't gotten better. It's gotten actually much, much worse.
Yep.
And I often, in the last at one point after the 2020 election, I was seriously considering. It was a chore to do this. I didn't want to do it every single time I got on. And not doing it anymore because it wasn't fun. There was nothing about it was fun.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was just a chore. And it wasn't, I don't even know why I was doing it. I had no idea. It's like, you're more pissed. It used to be when you think you're fighting for something, you feel better after you've done a little fighting.
Yeah.
So after the show, I would always feel better than I did when I started. And it got to the point where that wasn't happening at all. As a matter of fact, I was spending all my time pissed off, and I didn't know what to say or do anymore. I come on here now because, as I said, we got some guys and women, frankly, that have been around the American Rebellion. And we don't get that many views, but they've been around for the entire time, just about. And I enjoy interacting with them and listening to what they have to say, and hopefully they like what I say, whatever. And we got a good group now on screen, obviously, that helps a lot. But I keep asking the same question: what the hell do we have to do to change any of this? Because my big thing when I started was get up off your lazy ass, go register to vote. Research the candidates and vote for one, not for what they say, but for what they have done. And if that means the one in office hasn't done anything, get rid of him.
Yeah.
And not one thing has changed, other than the fact that now I firmly believe they're just, not only are they stealing elections, they've been doing it for years. Okay, I firmly believe they've been doing it for years because I want to know the odds of somebody like Nancy Pelosi has to be reelected every 2 years. She's been in government for since George Bush, first female, Speaker of the House, all that. How in the hell has she been reelected that many times without a loss? What are the odds of that happening?
I had to miss the civics lesson, but how come the House is only 2 years and the Senate is 6 years? There has to be a reason.
The
Okay.
Senate has more to do with the states versus the federal government, and
Okay.
the House is more of it's the people. It's sort of like in England where they have the House of Commons, which is for the
Yeah.
people, and then they have the
Yeah.
House of Lords, which is for the state
Yeah.
kind of deal. I really I don't remember
Okay.
either. I don't even care
Okay.
because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. My point is how are these people continuously winning elections and never ever 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 losing? Here's what I know. In 10 years, nothing has changed other than the fact it has gotten much worse.
Much worse.
And the day that Trump was elected, I remember the euphoria in the country. I remember it. I remember
Yeah.
the excitement before the election. I don't feel that. I didn't feel it in 2020.
No.
I don't feel it now.
And I remember the
And
excitement
the
of looking at.
euphoria when he got elected. I remember doing a live at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning the night he got
Yeah.
elected, and he came out and did his speech, and I got on live, and everybody was just, I can't believe it. And what
Yeah.
nobody realized is that it wasn't over. It was
No.
just
And
beginning.
I went to bed at midnight going, my man got elected. And I woke up the next morning and like, what the hell happened? You know?
Yeah. Well, we knew it the night of the election in 2020 because there was 4 people and I was one of them. I said it out loud. There was 3 other people in the damn comments all said at the same time, something ain't right.
No.
We all said at the same time. We knew. And by the next couple of days, I started thinking about all this other stuff. How the hell are these people in office this many freaking times without ever losing? How is that humanly freaking possible? And it's not. It's not.
Yep.
We have not had free and fair elections in years and years and years. And that was my big thing. Vote. And then after the first election, it was like, and I can prove it works because Trump is the president. Little did I know that they were getting ready to do the biggest scam on the American people ever. Because I actually believe it isn't COVID. It's that election, because that's the only thing we had between us and them. And I realized that after that, they had taken that from us too.
Yeah.
And nobody knew it. You ask the average person, they have no idea what the election rules are in their own state.
Yep.
The election rules, not laws, rules. Okay, on who you're allowed to vote for, when you're allowed to vote, all that. Florida, if you're not a member of the Republican or Democratic, whatever, if you're an independent and there's no independents running, you're not allowed to vote in primaries. That's horse shit. That is voter
voter fraud of the highest
right there.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
And they will not, and nobody wants to talk about that. And
But
this
see,
is
always,
Florida, the freest state in America.
I always thought if you were an independent, I always thought if you were an independent, you got a ballot with both parties on it because you weren't pledged to one party, as opposed to just getting a Republican ballot like I do, or a Democrat ballot. Yeah.
I was on the independent. I was independent almost my entire time because I didn't like either side.
Yeah.
And what they told us,
they screw you in Florida. I didn't know
the
that.
Independent Party of Florida. The Independent Party of Florida did not register for the election. That's what they told us. So now they have no party affiliation. So if you're no party affiliation, you can't. I had to go and register as a Republican just so I could vote. And I'm not a Republican by any stretch of the imagination. I do not trust the Republicans any further than I can trust Democrats, and I don't trust Democrats at all.
Right.
Everybody knows that about me.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I think the Republicans are possibly the lesser of the two evils? Yes. But they're both evil. Yeah. So how much lesser evil do you want as opposed to more? I mean, there really is no choice anymore.
No.
They're both the same thing. So I agree with you, Dave. I don't know what the hell it's going to take, and I question myself doing this all. That's why we have on our
I mean,
show sometimes, every once in a while, we don't talk about politics at all.
no,
Why we
and
cut up a
yeah,
lot, why we laugh at each other, make fun,
some
all that,
some of
and
the
it's
best.
simply because 24 hours a day politics makes everybody irritated, and
Yep,
I think we need more,
yep.
less of that, and more, laughter or whatever. I don't know, Dave, but
No, I
something.
hear
We
what
need
you're
more than
saying.
just politics.
There's more to it than just politics, and it,
It's we got people at
I
each
get to the
other's
point
throats.
also though.
Dave, we got people at each other's throat. We don't even fucking know. They don't even know why they're at each other's throat. Okay, they just
Yeah,
know they're mad at the other side and they hate the other side. The other side is Nazis and the other side's corrupt and this and that and the other. And everything they're saying is talking points off of CNN. And we immediately don't like them. You see a
just
guy driving a freaking electric car and you immediately don't like him. And that's just human nature, but it's not good. It's not good for the country, and the government
no.
has helped to put us here. But in the end, the responsibility of this corrupted government, this corrupted garbage we go through every day, falls on the shoulders of the American people. No one
Yep,
else.
yep.
Because in the end, we were responsible for keeping this from the founding fathers, and we failed miserably.
I wonder if they would look at us and
Simple.
go, "It's your fault." If they ever came back and looked, they'd just look at all of us and they would just go,
They would.
it's your
I
your
firmly
fault
believe
where
it.
you are." I wish they could tell me where it changed from how they wanted it to be, other than telling me that they just didn't expect that we would have made it 247 years. That's the biggest thing that people have speculated, is that they thought maybe if we ever got them together and asked them, they would say, "We never thought you guys would make it 200 years."
Well, that's why
And I don't
Benjamin
want to believe
Franklin
that,
says we
though.
gave you a republic. That's why Benjamin Franklin said we gave you a republic if you can keep it. And they
Yeah.
knew it was going to be hard to keep, because once greed gets involved and everything else and power and so forth, um, and what we have is a legacy of career politicians that can run for one office while holding another and have power in both the state and the federal government.
Yeah.
Backroom deals, money that is laundered through politics to enrich them. You name it.
And it's our money
Okay,
that they're laundering.
it's corrupt. Yes,
I was
and we're
going to
giving it
ask,
away to countries. I don't know about you, Dave, but I do not give a shit about the Ukraine. I really don't.
I
I
just
don't
got to
care
ask you
about it
one question,
geographically.
though.
I don't care about it.
How much of that money that we have given to Zelensky for Ukraine do you think I figure he's got to be paying Putin a substantial amount of money to not just go in there and end it. Because I think you said to me they've got antiquated equipment and this and that and the other. If Vladimir Putin really wanted to end this thing 45 minutes from now, couldn't he just do it? And if he hasn't, then I start looking at we just sent Zelensky another $100 billion, and he probably writes a check to Putin for $35 billion, and they just play war games for another until they get the next check from us. To me, it's just a game that they're. I got to think it's a game that they're both playing against us, and we can't play it anymore.
I believe that Joe Biden. I think that Joe Biden is paying off Zelensky with American taxpayer
Yeah.
dollars to keep Joe Biden out of trouble. That doesn't seem to be working real damn well.
That's not
But I think
working
that
good at
because
all.
I think that I think what we're hearing is horrible. But I think what actually happened is probably much, much worse. Okay, much, much worse. And we're not hearing about that. And why? Because of the people asking the questions. And the people asking the questions are politicians. It's not the mainstream media. It's not some investigative reporter. It's not even the American people asking the questions. It's politicians, and they're not asking the correct ones. They're not making these. I mean, we have these hearings in the House and Senate that actually have no bite to them. They can't put them in jail. They can recommend charges, but the DOJ is corrupt, so no big thing there. Okay, the only ones they ever recommended charges against is Trump all the time. Okay, and in the end, I got news for you: it's way worse than people.
It's not even a hearing anymore. It's not even a hearing anymore. It's how many of them they can give 5 minutes to, and all they do is yell at the people who are going to be testifying. Republicans yell at them. Democrats yell at them. They yell at each other while they're yelling at a witness who's testifying.
Yep.
But it's like I said.
It's a political event. What it is.
Honestly, it's like
to get their name in the paper so they get reelected.
When I started planning today in my head, I'm going, one of these days I'm going to invite Jerry and he's just going to go, excuse my English, fuck it, I've had enough. I just can't go on and tell people anymore. What you tell them every night? What we tell them every night? You know?
I don't know.
But it's like you said, the stuff you bring in that's not
sometimes
the other stuff that you bring in and tie around it. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to say fuck it. Sometimes you're just doing life. I mean, because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
There's other things that you want to say it, but you can't. Okay, and this is one of them. I can't. I'm never going to be famous doing this. I don't make any money doing this, so that's not it. So why am I doing it? It's because I'm 60 years old. People consider me old now, I guess.
55, they consider you old.
I long for the America, not the America I had. Not the America I had. But the America my great-great-great-grandparents had in this country, where they were allowed to do things without government interference. That's the America I want. I don't want the America of my childhood. I want the America of my great-great-grandparents' childhood, okay?
Yeah.
Where you had to work your butt off, and not everything was perfect by any stretch.
No.
But you had freedoms. You kept your money when you earned it.
Yeah.
You didn't have all this garbage we have now with taxes and fees and fines and government intervention with rules and regulations put forth by unelected officials. Okay, and then we have the taxes by the elected officials. Okay. We didn't have any of that. We weren't sending billions of dollars to a country that can't win a war. And we'll never win that war, or countries that hate us, or countries just because they won't pay their bills, we're paying them for them. We didn't do that. When did we?
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask some of these people, when did we start doing all of this? When did we start paying everybody else's way? When did we, we stopped paying our way?
World War I, when we went into battle against Germany in trench warfare and saved the world. World War II, we did the same thing. We suddenly became the world's policemen. We're in Korea a few years later. Then we're in Vietnam a few years later. Okay, we became the world's policemen. We became the world's bank. We became the world's everything.
Yeah.
Okay. and we had to keep that up. And when we went broke, we kept borrowing money and not
Yeah.
paying it off. We kept borrowing more money and more money and more money
More
until the
money,
fact that
more
we are
money.
actually a bankrupt fucking country.
We are
We
several
are a
times over.
bankrupt fucking country.
Several times over. I
Yeah,
don't think most
I would
people
say.
understand
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
I mean, I'm 62. I'm 61, I mean. My grandson will be 11 next week, I think. I know it's coming up, and I don't think when he's 61 in 50 years, I don't think we may not have paid it all off then. And
I doubt it.
I
They
never
say it would take
thought,
5 lifetimes.
I never
I
thought,
believe, Dave, I believe that we could pay off the national debt relatively quickly. It
yeah,
would require us not spending government money on pretty much all kinds of crap, government studies, all this bullshit. Okay, and quit sending money to every other country. Quit
yeah,
paying their way. Quit doing this. Quit doing that. And put all that money into the national debt. I believe we could clear up the national debt.
yeah,
The problem is they don't want to do that because our
you know.
entire economy is based on debt somehow. And I don't
Well,
understand it. I don't pretend to understand it. I don't want to understand it because if it was you and I started a business of any kind, okay, say it was an ice cream shop, and we
yeah,
spent $1 million on this ice cream shop and never opened the front door for a customer, I guarantee you we would be in bankruptcy court and in a lot of trouble.
yeah,
Okay, somehow financially at least. All right,
yeah,
and that is what the United States is doing. The United States doesn't take in enough money to support itself.
no,
And because there
especially
isn't
when they're
enough
giving
money to
away
take, so they go
yeah,
and take it from other countries, and we owe them, and that
yeah,
puts us on their financial leash, which is why
right,
we are having major problems with people like China. By the
yeah.
way,
You think we will ever pay them off?
no, because we keep borrowing the money.
Yeah,
You can't pay off a loan if you keep taking another loan to pay off the first loan and then spend that on stupid crap.
yeah,
Okay? We haven't had a budget for a year or two in this country in years and years because
this
it's
is
all these
true.
temporary budgets because these morons we sent to Washington can't
Can't
get it
pass
figured
it.
out that we can only spend what we take in.
Yeah,
Period. The government does not produce anything but incompetency and corruption, and you don't get
yeah,
paid for that. Okay, the government does not produce goods, and they barely can produce services that work. Okay, but the
yeah,
services cost money, and they're not making any money. They're free services, so they're not making any money off them. The
yeah,
money they get, they steal from the American public and whoever else they can.
yeah,
And this shit, I have to tell you, makes me as mad as humanly possible without actually
yeah.
having a stroke and dropping dead right here on the live. I'm
No,
telling
please don't
you,
do that.
it
Please
is
don't do that.
infuriating. Yeah, all right. Yeah,
All right, all right.
but you know it.
I
You
know.
know it. It's
I'm just saying.
infuriating what they're doing.
Right, right. Please don't have a stroke on a Boogie with a Bull broadcast. Your wife Michelle will never let you come play with us again.
Wow.
But if you have a stroke and die, you'll never be able to come and play with us again. Anyway. And I
I'm just
really
saying.
mean that. Sometimes, some mornings, I'll sit down and I'll look and I'll go, I want to ask Jerry on, I want to ask this person on, that person on, and one of these days they're just going to go, you know what? What do we talk about? Just say no. Just say no.
Yeah, well,
But I hope people.
I don't know, Dave. I think half the reason is it infuriates me so damn much, I can't stop. And
I call it
every
therapy.
it's crazy. Every night on this show, every night I do on my show, right? Every night,
Yeah.
either Nick or Daryl or somebody brings up something that was just dumber than yesterday.
Yep.
And I just shake my head and marvel at the fact that we are actually able to out-stupid each other almost every day.
And I gotta, I gotta tell people there's nobody that tells me to behave on either my broadcast or his broadcast more than Jerry. So, you want a good laugh?
I don't know.
Want a good laugh? Go on to the American Rebellion and just say the word drama, and then watch what happens to me. But I tell people it's therapy.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing to me how, what the thing. Okay, and I hate Facebook. I do. I try not to talk about Facebook as much as possible. But you just look at what's going on Facebook. We can't even get out of our own damn way, much less win against the other side. It's like we're not winning. We're all losing because this is what we do. We argue with each other constantly. Neither side is probably completely correct. And we all say the same things. Well, I told them they needed to do their research and they need to do this and they need to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what exactly do you think they did? Stopped immediately and went and did that, and then all of a sudden all is well in the world? No, it just they dig their heels in deeper and deeper and deeper until I don't know what. I got to be truthful. I have no freaking idea. My personal opinion is that until the day that the people start knocking on your door to take you to jail or disappear you. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to argue and talk about what tough guys they are, but nobody wants, it's like, when is somebody going to do something? Well, when are you going to come up with a plan and do it yourself? Tell me that, and if it's a good plan, I guarantee you I'm there with you. Okay. Period.
I don't know what it is.
So, anyway.
I don't know what the plan.
Thank you, Dave.
I don't know what the plan is. I wish I did.
Feel better, but at least I yelled.
See, for me, this is.
But at least I yelled a little.
For me, this is therapy because for the 6 years, I'd walk in 9:45. I made a fresh pot of coffee, and 9:55, I put headphones on. Somebody did news for 5 minutes. Then I joked with them for a couple of minutes, and then I played music to put you to sleep all night, and talked every once in a while to make sure people were awake. So this is like therapy for me. It just puts me back in a good day. Like I said, I hope people find that one thing that tomorrow morning when they wake up, they'll remember that you and I were on and we did 2 hours and what we talked about, and maybe they'll remember that one thing that'll help maybe set a fire under them to do something. And that's all I can do because Facebook buries us so far down where no one can find us anyway that I'm happy actually we had 4 people watching tonight, I think 4 or 5 people watching tonight. So we did okay.
No, at the very least, Dave, at the very least, we get to yell, we get to scream, we get to talk, we get to laugh, we get to be pissed off. And maybe that's good for your mental health. I have no idea. I'm not that smart, frankly, but
I don't know.
Maybe it's that. I don't know. I just know that the people that have followed us and been part of us for years on our show. I wouldn't give up a damn one of them for nothing, because they have become important in my life, and I actually we get mad at each other, we laugh at each other, we feel for each other when bad things happen, and at least there's that. At least I can go on and know I'm gonna hear somebody say, or a lot of people say, something that's sane and normal, and something I can understand. You know what? I can't explain it. I can't either. That's as close as I can.
So tomorrow night at 7 a.m. at 7 p.m. I was going to say tomorrow night at 7 a.m. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Everybody go downstairs to the American Rebellion blogger page and catch Jerry Michaels, and Daryl Rector might be there. He's very busy these days, so he'd be there. Nikki Young will be there, and maybe a relation of Nikki's will be there as well. And
I
you know,
think his name's
be
Ethan.
a part of the conversation. Anything else you want to close with, Mr. Michaels?
Doing this, I will say this. I've met some really, really great people. I've never met any of them in real life, but I feel like that I could hang out with them in real life. Whether they could hang out with me is another story, but still, okay. And you have, and they're all, the main thing is they're all decent people. They go through their lives trying to be decent people. Nobody's perfect, but they try. Okay. And
Yep.
they're all pissed off at what has been taken from them. And
Yep.
you know what? And they're from different parts of the country, different parts of different countries, different parts of the world, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But they all have the same feeling about we're tired. We're tired. And you get on there with them and it's just good. I don't
Yep.
know. It just is. And I look forward to being, most of the time, 99% of the time, I look forward to being on just for that reason.
Yep.
So that's all I got. And
All right.
I thank you for letting me come on tonight.
Hey, I'm glad you came on, and you're always welcome. And as I said to people, tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern, the American Rebellion is live on the American Rebellion blogger page. And they tell me somewhere over on Rumble. And if you if you find it there, watch it, please, and share it. And any final words before I push the button and send your parachute and open the trapdoor at the same time?
No, I want to thank you for letting me come on. That's all. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime. All right.
All right.
Let me see. We'll do
Take
that.
care of yourself.
And we'll do that. You too. We'll see you tomorrow night. All right. Sometimes that's fun. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion, a fun guy to have around. And I believe it's Jerry's Garage DIY, or Jerry's DIY Garage over on YouTube. A lot of fix-it-yourself stuff that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Go over there. While you're over there on YouTube, take a look at the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. There are now 42 episodes of Boogie with the Bull, along with the first episode we ever shot on the YouTube channel. Raptard Invites a Friend to Dinner. Go over there and watch that one and have some fun. I'm surprised it's still there. Go over there and watch that one. And when we're on my Dave Golden profile, the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group. We're over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and someday when we get 1,000 subscribers who watch 4,000 hours, we will get a few pennies from YouTube, and who knows what will happen with that. Like Jerry said, this has never been about the money for me. It's I don't know, therapy or whatever you want to call it. Michael Anthony was in the live chat. Thank you, Michael. One of these days we'll get you on, the Tuesday or Thursday. Ask Marie Daly, when we were going back when we were talking about the Maui fire, said that Oprah is the big tip-off, deep state in action regarding Hawaii. Trump will prevail. Watch it like it's a movie, which you have to do, a comedy movie. It must look like this for him to return to the presidency. And it's sad that both sides really have to do this to each other. It really is. And I don't know if the Democrats will make the last decision to pull Joe and run somebody else. It would be very interesting to see Robert Kennedy Jr. as the Democrat candidate and Donald Trump as the Republican candidate. to sit down and have a discussion. Said to somebody in a political post in one of our groups on Facebook earlier that, who knows? Who knows? I don't even know anymore. It's going to end one day. It'll all be done, and maybe we'll get back to the business at hand. Anyway, I'm Dave Goldman. Thank you for watching Boogie with the Bull. This is the part of the program where we say you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own everything affiliated with making the broadcast. The only thing we do not own is any video that Randy Rhoads showed during his appearance on Boogie with the Bull tonight. If we use somebody's copyrighted video, please let us know. Let Facebook know, and they will let me know, and we will contact you, and we will apologize. So far, 10 out of 10 times we have said, we didn't make any money using your video. We weren't looking to make any money making your video. It helped, and we'd like to be able to use it again. So as far as I know, the nice folks at Warner Music Rights Group, they control who has permission to use Warner owned or copyrighted or published music all around the world, said you guys are great. And so now Boogie with the Bull in Belarus and Russia, you have the Fall Out Boys video unblocked, the whole 2 minutes and 58 seconds. I don't remember the date of it, but it's back there. And 9 out of 10 times when it's happened, actually the copyright holder has been polite and said that, you guys know better, this, that, and the other thing. But 9 out of 10 times, they're just like, we understand. You're not trying to make any money. You're not a threat to us in any way. And Warner Rights Group was actually, next time they said, plug somebody else, because I said you can probably get Fall Out Boy's video or music on iTunes. They didn't think that was funny because I guess they don't put a lot of their artists on iTunes. But I don't know any better. So thanks to everyone who watched. I did not get a chance to acknowledge Danny Campbell, who was watching more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts than anybody else in the history of Boogie with the Bull. He was watching Daryl Rector, who's also on the American Rebellion, was watching Michael Anthony, who's been on just about everybody's broadcast and all of the Michael Anthony broadcasts. What you should do is go and become Michael Anthony's friend. It's the red, white, and blue. Looks like a high school picture of Michael Anthony. He's a little older now, but says 10 o'clock talks on the frame. Go to the Michael Anthony Facebook page, become his friend. That way you know every time he is on, because there are so many topics in the course of the week that I cannot tell you all of them at any one time. Paranormal broadcasts, Bigfoot broadcasts. I hope all of those come back throughout the year. The paranormal broadcasts are some of my favorites. The Bigfoot broadcasts are always fun. But just go and watch and you'll learn something. And sometime you'll see Michael here. Jen Woodler was not with us tonight because I understood that she was on vacation, so I didn't send her an invite. And we'll try to see if she's around for Wednesday. There is talk that we may cut the Tuesday, Thursdays down to one night, probably Tuesday nights, and make that change in the next couple of days. And other than that, Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. Let's see, that says 2 hours and 8 minutes. Let's come down here. This is 2 hours and 11 minutes. But anyway, who knows? So we'll come up here. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast did come to an end. And one more time, Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast did come to an end.